everyone, this is Leslie Fisher of lesliefisher.com. I hope you're doing well today. At the time of this recording, I, just the previous Friday, did a webinar with the absolutely wonderful Tony Vincent, and it was all about gadgets for your remote learning workspace. And when I showed this solution, it caught a lot of people by surprise. And I thought, you know what, I should make a blog post about it. And it's actually about these guys right here, Rocketbook beacons. If you are not familiar with the Rocketbook is an endlessly reusable notebook. There are 7 icons at the bottom of the page, and so you can write, you can then put an X, run the app, snap a picture, and it goes to all these different destinations. It goes to Google Drive, Evernote, OneNote, Dropbox. So it's a really cool system, and as long as you use a certain kind of pen, you could just wipe the page clean and use it again and again and again. So Rocketbook, kind of based on this idea, they were like, well, how do we help people with whiteboards? And so they released these Rocketbook beacons. And so the idea is you can place them on a whiteboard. You can actually place them on any surface, and it will then all of a sudden turn that into a surface that can be digitized. So I'm going to do a quick demo of that, and then I'm going to show you where I really surprised some people. So let me go ahead and hide this web page and close this up, and we'll move this, and then we're going to head to my camera. And I just was trying to click right here instead of tap on my iPad, which is actually pretty darn funny. So here are Rocketbook beacons. Now they're not going to work right now because I'm not in the Rocketbook app. I'm in the camera app, and you could turn any surface into a Rocketbook surface or a beacon surface just by putting these out. So imagine this on a whiteboard. Imagine this as of right now on a table. This is obviously super small for demo purposes, but you could, there's all sorts of different options that you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out of this, and I'm going to go to the Rocketbook app, and then let me jump out here. It's already kind of doing its thing. So let me come in here and X this out. And you'll notice that just by me, and I'm going to jump out here. There we go. Apologies. You got a little sneak peek. So here are all the different destinations I have set for my Rocketbook, and I'm going to come in here and say New Scan. And when I say New Scan, you'll notice that it has a toggle to go between looking for a Rocketbook page, which this obviously isn't, and then beacons. And when I click on beacons, it's going to automatically start capturing based on this region. And I'm going to now click on, if you look at the upper right corner, I'm going to click on that triangle icon. And you're going to notice an option for something called a snapcast. So what that's doing is it's actually sending that out on the web. And if it's still the same one, yes it is. So there it is, grabbing a bunch of nothing, and it's refreshing the page every few seconds. So if I put that post-it there, you're going to notice that in a few moments, it now comes up and says, I am a post-it. And I could change this, and as long as I keep those beacons in view, it's going to change this, and there's my hand. Not only that, look, I can zoom in, I can make this full size. I can even come in here and I can download this entire thing as a PDF. And let me switch back to my iPad. If I click here in the lower right corner, you'll notice that I can name my Snapcast, I can share it as a URL, I can even clear it, and I can, and this is a newer feature which is great, I can send it to the typical destinations that I usually would with my Rocketbook. So I could say, send this directly to my Google Drive. So if you think about this in a remote learning situation, how cool is that? The ability that maybe you're there teaching and you're using these beacons, and then you're sending the Snapcast out, you're sharing that link with your students, and they're able to capture whatever the heck is on your screen, which is great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the camera. So that's the beacons, and once again, you can put them on whiteboards and all sorts of surfaces. But let's do this, and it looks like it's a little crooked, and we're just going to have to tolerate that, or it's it is not the exact. So this is going to look kind of upside downish with the camera. Just for time's sake, we're just going to leave it be. But this is called ThinkBoard. And if you haven't heard of ThinkBoards, these are peel and stick. So there's actually an adhesive back here. And I can peel and stick these again and again and again in all different locations. Not only that, they come in all different sizes. So if you wanted to take a wall and turn that into a think board, great. They even make ones that are clear. And I have a clear one to the right of me, and I have this little guy to the left of me. And you use Expo markers, and I'm using a super fine Expo for this one, but you could use any sort of Expo marker. And it just cleans with a standard microfiber cloth, which they include. So I apologize for the angle, but when I jump into the Rocketbook app, this will change. So if you take a close look at this, and let me go ahead and close this out. This think board is the ThinkBoard X2, and it supports beacons. So now you can have this in this size or a larger size, and then you just simply head to the Rocketbook app. And when you head to the Rocketbook app, it's going to do that same thing that we were watching earlier. So let me change this to beacons. And now let me jump back to my Snapcast, and there is that note. And if I change this note, and as I am talking to my students or my educator friends, it will automatically take that, scan it, and then send it here to the ThinkBoard app, and I'm sorry, the Rocketbook app. And once again, I can toggle full screen. I can download this. All sorts of good things that someone watching remote can pick up on, and I can tap on these three dots again, and I can then, when I'm done, I can say send this to a destination, and then I can go in and I can save it. So I would think one of the things, if you are in a remote learning situation, if you have a whiteboard at home, then yeah, get some beacons. Or if you don't have a whiteboard at home and you draw a lot, then look at getting the ThinkBoard X. This size right here, the 3-pack, it's $30, and you'll see that all sorts of different sizes. And they do have education discounts, so please feel free to ask them, and I'm sure they'll hand you over education discounts. So there it is, Rocketbook, Rocketbook Beacons, and also ThinkBoard, which is beacon enabled. Hopefully that'll help you in your remote learning situation. Heck, any situation where you want to get content to someone, you now can do that remotely, thanks to the beacons and the ThinkBoard. And now I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to wish you a great rest of your day. Thank you for spending about 8 minutes of it with me. Once again, I'm Leslie Fisher of lesliefisher.com. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.